And good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another Jedi Academy. I'm Ranger J 1999. Glad to have you guys all here. Hope everybody's having a wonderful Saturday morning. This is our Jedi Academy, and you're on RSG. And if you're wondering what that is, well, that's just where we hang out with you folks for the next couple of hours, and we are going to answer your questions because this is a straight Q&A show. We bring the best and the brightest of game changers and YouTubers and professorials and Bigfoots and all that good stuff together, and then we sprinkle in a little bit of RSG madness, and what do you get is we get the best Q&A show in the Galaxy of Heroes community. So let's introduce everybody. Before we do that, just let you know how it works is if you have a question, all you need to do is you need to put it in chat. Make sure you put question in front of your statement, or the question you're answering. It just helps us scoop it up, makes it a little bit easier because sometimes people forget punctuation, things of that nature. We don't want to miss your question, so go ahead and put that in there. And the one and only Dr. Finn, Medicine Woman, will be here to scoop it up. Isn't that right, Dr. Finn?
Sure.
Really?
Oh yeah, you told me I have to be more enthusiastic. Yes, Ranger, I am ready to grab those questions and put them in there for you to read.
I hate you so much. I mean, you just can't be a normal person, right? You just have to be mentally damaged. I don't get it.
I haven't been so far in my life. Why would I try to be a normal person now?
I mean, listen, we're trying to do stuff here. All right, so Dr. Finn Medicine Woman's here. Please ignore him. Please do not encourage him, and do not feed him after midnight. It leads to bad things. Let's see who else we got here. We've got, of course, the Jedi Master herself, Lady Adasher's here.
Good morning.
Good morning. See how she did that, Finn? That's called being a human being. Also joining us from across the pond, we have the one and only Mike Hunt.
Good morning. You're saying he's not normal, but we already know he's a fan of people of restricted growth, aka porgs. Yeah. Enough said.
All I can say to that is Mike just called porg people and made my day. Thank you, Mike.
Pog.
Okay. King Felix is here as well.
Indeed, I am. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Also, I think he's here. I'm not sure if he is, but the one and only, the master himself of everything, Warrior from Warrior Presents is here.
I do. A good day.
A good day to you, sir. See, Finn, that is a proper introduction right there. You go to your room and rethink your life. And last but not least, we've got all the way from Canada, pimping that maple syrup, and those ketchup chips, Team Money.
What's up? May the maple leafs be with you.
How dare you? Now, we're about to have Halloween next week here in the U.S. Do you guys celebrate Halloween at the same time there up in Canada?
Oh, sorry, what? You jumped in with a question for me. What was that?
I said next week is Halloween here in the U.S. Do you guys celebrate the same thing up there in Canada?
Absolutely, yes. Halloween is like my holiday. It's my deal. That's what I do. I do Halloween. It's a big deal. My kid gets dressed up. He wants to be a gonk for, I think it's the third year in a row, which is completely adorable. I did not know what a gonk was before he requested that for Halloween, and so, but he's outgrown his gonk costume, so we're having to make a new one this weekend.
So that's cool.
Halloween is a celebration of my birthday.
Are you a October 31st birthday?
Are you
No.
Are you a witch?
No.
Oh.
Halloween is a celebration of All Hallows Eve, aka 1st of November, aka All Saints Day. That's what Halloween celebrates.
That's a stretch, Mike, but okay.
That's kind of a stretch.
1st of November, which is a Catholic holiday.
Mike is having
Halloween.
a rough morning.
Yeah, Mike, sorry, but
no,
yeah.
It's me just saying it's my birthday on Thursday, and everyone has to watch at least one of my videos.
Okay, there we go. Okay, so why didn't you just say that? You and your damn English talk, God, dog.
It's also my birthday.
Well, yeah, well, We always shout you out on your birthday, homie.
Science.
You have kids. Your birthdays no longer matter.
Right.
Nah, they're adults and they talk too much.
I know, they really do, King Felix. I mean, it's an amazing thing. I mean,
I love it when they come on the lunch stream. I can usually catch like the back half of it Monday through Friday, and I hear them come on there, and it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't say beautiful would be the word that I would use. Entertaining, yes. Foul, that would be another word. A lot of slang is used, if I may coin a phrase there, Mike. A lot of potty language.
I hollow out to their mother to fetch me their beating stick.
Mm-hmm. I think they have a beating stick for you, Mike.
Yeah, I'd be careful.
Yeah.
You're outnumbered.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called their tongue.
Yeah. Oh, Lord. It is. All right. So if you have questions, go ahead and get those questions in. Dr. Finn is scooping them up. We're going to get them read out. Gotta say, man, not a damn thing has been going on in the game really of late. I mean, typical stuff. We got territory battles and we got the arenas and all that. But there has been a quiet on the home front from Capital
there's
Games.
been
Nothing. We still haven't got the road ahead, which they don't really have to give us, right? They said they were going to do it, but it's not a requirement per se. But it's been really quiet. I mean, when we did the Wednesday show, we spent more time about our charity thing than covering any news from them because there was no news, nothing.
Yeah.
And I blame Finn.
Solid choice.
Yeah. So, Finn, what did you do?
Well, I can't discuss it.
Yeah, you can.
There's NDAs involved.
No, there's not. You made that up. You're a filthy, dirty liar, and I'd like to know what you did.
I can't talk about it.
Okay. I mean, it's been really, really quiet, y'all. I mean...
Well, it's been quite fine with me. I'm just having fun testing stuff in Arena, so I don't mind it.
Arena's over. Arena. It's either revving or nothing. Oh, God, this is boring.
You kidding me? Yeah, I dropped the furthest I ever dropped in probably the last year, over 1 day period with my revving out.
It's
partially it was because we were doing the trunk or treat down at work, so I wasn't able to play. But when I had 1 hour till my payout, I looked at my game. I was at 46.
Yeah.
Dang.
I'm just
Which
glad.
Is actually funny.
I'm just glad we spent all this time farming the snot out of heroic Sith for Treya, and she is now worthless in Arena.
At long last, the Jedi have conquered the Sith.
Eh.
I don't think she's useless in Arena. She's got a bunch of purposes. She's not.
Like
she
what?
just can't. You can't just point her at something and press auto anymore.
Well, it never was that.
She's still one of the most powerful.
She is neutered. No, y'all quit playing.
She's number 2.
She is not. She is number 2 now. She's
definitely number 2.
Yeah, which is pretty awesome.
It's not awesome because Robin just goes in there like, dead. Like what?
She needed to be dethroned, so who better than a Jedi to do that?
Sure, that makes sense. But no, it's interesting because I was with Miss. Miss is stream on Thursday. We were just checking top 20, and I had 13 out of the top 20 were revving. It's like, oh my God. And it's like the rest of everyone else was looking in going, I remember being there. So, Jedi Revan is here. Tori Struck Knight says, sorry, he just donated $2. Says, sorry, need a break from events. I'm good for the year. Yeah. But even events,
right?
Yeah, I don't think if we got any more events, no one here would be like, oh no, really. But news, anything, reworks, hugs,
No,
nothing.
no, there's nothing.
There's a new useless ship
There's
coming out.
I hope you get
there's
the
only
king
Jedi
everyone
Knight
had
Revan.
known
Nothing
for
else
the
matters.
That's a bunch of that's some bullshit right there.
Hey, I am going to enjoy this
I know,
very
I
much.
know you are, Lady Dasha, and I'm very happy for you because I know how much you love Jedi.
Yeah.
I know. Oh, well, no, trust me, I get it. Yes, I understand. All right, so I don't know. Normally we talk about something going on, but I mean, okay.
Well, there's the new ship, and Mike, I disagree.
Oh,
I think
Lord.
it's a fantastic ship.
It is not. It's awful.
It's
awful.
a fantastic ship. It's very
not.
difficult because you need the team with it. You need Sith Assassin's ship, and you don't have Sith Assassin's ship. But it is it's a great ship. It's the concussion bombs are fantastic. That's probably the single best.
I'm on
around.
this side here, Mike. I think it's garbage.
I got a 6-star Sith Assassin ship. I'm 50 shards away from 7-star in it, and what does it have to be 7 star? Sorry,
the
Sith Assassin, because
the Sith Assassin. I'm not sure about the Sith Assassin because the Sith Marauder ship protects her a lot, but she's basically doing all of the work while he's protecting her. Like it's kind of like a
marriage.
Yes.
I watched your vids. I tried it. I tried it again. I tried it again. I tried it again, and then I benched it.
Now it was the days on it was not working, so that was a confirmed bug that they're fixing. But yeah,
you saying I can do a refund request? Yay!
Do it.
No, it's working now. It was not working before. Well, it should be working soon, but it wasn't working before.
So it's official. They've released product that doesn't work. Yay!
I don't know, Mike. Stop getting me in trouble.
I'm not getting you in trouble. You just
It's
confirmed to me that it doesn't work, and it's like, yay.
It wasn't working as intended, and now it is what T Money's saying. You're gonna get in trouble for that. If you did, point me to the person.
It's true, but no, I'm pretty darn sure that the days was not working on it, and so it will have to be working. So if it's not working for you, then it's either that or it's human error, Mike, because it's a good ship.
No, well, I know, man. Looking at it with Mist and stuff, I mean, it's okay, but it's not fabulous. It's I don't think it's good, but I don't think the Sith ships in general are that great. They've got some good stuff, but it's like some of the stuff is like no.
I think that there's something kind of like subconsciously the designers, the was it 2 of the 3 recent ships are in the shapes of Y.
Oh, that's not on the design. Those are ships directly from the Old Republic game. Those are not something they designed. Those exactly the same design.
But it does lead to the same question though. Why?
Because
why give us an IG-2000 that just kind of is there to die?
Since a droid, it won't know it hit it.
Ships are terrible.
That's it. Droids should stick to what they're good at. Making toast.
Honestly, a lot of these ships are probably because you need the base ships in order to justify having another capital ship. And we've already kind of speculated on a Grievous rework and stuff coming but before the end of the year. And so it wouldn't surprise me if there's a new capital ship coming, whether it's like the old data minute Gunray, whether it's one for Grievous, whether it's one for Resistance as a result of the new TV show, whatever it is, or First Order for that same reason. We need more ship content, and they've been releasing a lot of ships, right? And if you take a look at the number of ships that we have in game, it's getting to the point where we're ready for another capital ship here very soon.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what was it? We've got 20 dark and 18 light at the moment.
Yeah, we need 2 more lights so we get that damn achievement off the board. I'm sick of looking at that.
I was happy to get that.
I was too. Good job, CG. I really was. I was like, it's gone.
I hate those achievements.
God.
And
if I was one of the guys with the 12 days of spring, I probably would have blown my head off already. Because
oh Lord,
having that sit there would be impossible for me to look at.
Yeah.
Oh, on a plus point, I got 20 purples and 25 omegas this morning.
Oh yeah, with the smuggler run thing. Yeah. Alrighty then. Boy, the questions are coming in. They always do. I love our community. All right. So first question right off the bat is for Warrior. From our good friend Revenator. Shout out to you, Revenator.
Yeah, Revenator.
Yeah. Question for Warrior. How do you think the removal of the test accounts will affect the game changers and their videos? I don't know if you just right off the back, huh? Y'all just Jesus.
Yeah, so I'm not going to editorialize this, or anything like that, and add to a bunch of this. But basically, the Game Changer program is still alive and well. It's basically everything it was just a few days ago. The only difference is the access to the Game Changer build, aka the test accounts, are currently unavailable. I feel like for someone like me, I don't bat an eye. Most of my videos are done on my main account anyway. For those people who built their entire livelihood of YouTube on a test account, it's going to devastate them. But that's kind of a good lesson to be learned, is to not rely on another company for your material. That's one of the reasons why it's one of the reasons why I continue to maintain doing most of my videos out of my main account. Only when it's absolutely necessary do I use the test account, because I just, at any moment the game could go away, or at any moment they could shut test accounts down, and they just showed this, for right now, and they go away. For any moment, something could happen, and all of a sudden, your entire livelihood that you're saying that you're building on YouTube is gone. So it really should be. I mean, the best person for this in our community is probably Arnold, because he is expanding into lots of other games and lots of other styles, and he's forward thinking, and he's really trying to think about his future subscribers, and he's not worried about it. And if the test account is temporarily shut down, it's not affecting him. He's doing 4 different videos with different other things, so it's not going to affect him. For me, it's not going to affect me. For the biggest YouTubers, we've learned we can't really rely on anybody else but ourselves, so it's not a big deal. And I mean, they said that it's just access to it's unavailable right now. I have no idea what that means. I mean, that could mean that, like I said, I'm not going to editorialize. We could guess that it means that they're going away. We could guess that it means that they're shutting it down for a new update. Who knows? I don't know. But people don't need.
You guys weren't really given any. You don't have to explain if there. I mean, what the explanation was. But were you guys emailed about this before it happened, or did it just happen and you guys were left in the lurch?
Access to the build is currently unavailable, but we'll let you know when there's an update. So,
so it could be coming back. So it could just be that they're having technical issues, or do you get a sense that it's something else?
I have no idea, dude.
Oh, really?
I have no idea, but I actually don't care enough. Now, there are a couple of YouTubers who said that their entire livelihood has been wrapped around these test accounts, and for me, I find that sad.
No, that's not. Yeah, that's not.
That crushes them. That's terrible. I feel bad for them, I suppose, but it kind of is what it is when you have everything wrapped into something like that.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, the lesson of the moral lesson is be warrior. That's all I'm going to say. All right, next question. I'm sure we'll get some more on that. Stand by. So, next question, Mr. Penny Pitch. We'll go to you, Lady Adastra. Question. Is it just me, or did anybody else think that... where did it go? God dang it, Finn. You keep adding questions. It threw me off. All right, this is from Mr. Penny Pitch. Let me try this again, Lady Adastra. Is it just me, or did anybody else think that the McMull video, how to counter or the counters of Revan, was a blatant smack in the face? I don't even know what he's talking about. Is there a McMull video that I'm not aware of that I'm not sure what he's talking about here? Finn, can you clarify?
Yeah, so just quick summary. McMull always puts out those kind of videos, right? And one of the things is always that you're looking for counters to some of the teams that are currently out there. And so he put a video. I mean, he's put out a couple of videos and just how you can deal with Revan, and then he also, I think, made a counter in that video as to how you should equip your Revan in order to do it properly. And so he's kind of been going down that route, and he made a video basically saying how good Jedi can work against Revan. So that was his video. So I don't know if there's anything in particular that is being asked about, but McMull makes a bunch of different videos about counters and how to best benefit teams. So,
well, was it a blatant smack in the face, as Mr. Penny Pinch is
well,
claiming?
so the blatant smack in the face, and I think you asked it to Adastra, so we can.
Well,
she can give her opinion.
Have you seen it, Adastra?
Well, no. So the blatant smack in the face that I think is a lot of people spending money on Revan, and there being so many different counters to it. And I think that's where some people feel like it's a character with a huge kit, but way too many counters, and they don't feel like it's worth it anymore. And I think Mr. Pennypinch can correct if I'm misstating what he's trying to say. But I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, there's so many counters to this team. Was it worth it to get Revan? So I know Adastra loves herself some Revan, so she might be able to comment what she thinks about it with all the different counters popping up for Revan now.
Thanks, I appreciate that because I haven't seen the videos that or anything, so I'm glad you clarified. Because I'm like, but yeah, I would disagree. As always, it comes down to modding and which Revan comp you'd be running. So if there's people that are fearing like, oh god, there's too many counters to this, like what's the point? Have you not seen how easily he destroys Traya, for instance?
Mm-hmm.
As always, there's gonna be counters to stuff. There is no unstoppable squad. But the Revan is the Revan comps that you can create. There's really powerful ones out there. Like I've been having a lot of fun trying out different ones. And I can confirm that I've been a pain to some of my shard mates with Revan. That's never happened with Jedi before. To be able to stop Traya from defeating you and to even potentially stop weaker Revans from defeating you, if they don't have them modded correctly or if they're running not as good of a comp versus mine. So, and then, yeah, of course, people are going to keep coming out with these new counters because Revan is such a powerful addition to the game. People are like, the people that don't have them are just like, okay, how do I take this on? This is a very powerful kit and you can create some good squads. So, unfortunately, we have powerful characters in the game already. Like Nest, she is one of the most powerful plug-and-play characters that can cheese other comps. She's like I'm sure you've heard of that, with the Zal plus Nest combination that can potentially cheese some of the Revan squads out there. But as far as countering, one of the strongest squads you can form is having a Zeta to Jolie on it, because of the revive, and then having the Zetas on your Revan to increase his power too. And then I like having Bastila on there because, again, she adds to the power. So, like, those three together are very strong. So people that are thinking there's too many counters, it's like, yeah, but if you have it modded right and you have the powerful grouping, it's a pain in the butt for people to take it on. The Zal Nest isn't a guaranteed win all the time versus certain Revan. And neither is the Traya Emperor Thrawn guaranteed to win. Like they have tried, and my shard is a good example. I've had some complaints, but I have also been defeated. Also, after a few tries, they can defeat my squad. It's just not easy.
Traya is no more. All right, next question. Let's get to the next one. We'll go to you, Mikey. This is from our good friend JLY9, Mike, and the question is: do you think Thrawn Zeta on his leadership? Do you need Thrawn Zeta on his leadership to run the Thrawn Magma Trooper anti-Traya team?
Definitely not.
Nope.
Don't have it myself, and that is I do run that comp against Traya's in Territory War.
Nice.
No, I mean it works very well. It's a great comp. It's fun to run as well. The bonuses, obviously you get the bonuses to his lead. I think you get it. I think it shows up more though in just adding. Was it 1 speed it adds to Chimera? I mean, it's boosting your ships and whatnots, but unless you really, don't have any other Zetas or characters that need Zetas, I wouldn't. It's not one that I've prioritized at all. I've got to be honest.
All right. Next question will go to you, T Money. Our Canadian representative here on the Jedi Academy. This is from our good friend John Davies, and the question is, what is the best Bastila arena team?
Okay, well, Bastila, and then Revan, and then
I knew you were going to say that.
And then Jolie.
And then
with
Jolie.
The Zeta. Yeah.
The Zeta.
The two hermits, and you will never die again.
Indeed. So certainly, the little kind of good guy triumvirate of Bastila, Grandmaster Yoda, and Hermit Yoda. For that team, I love Hermit Yoda's little. His big protection heal, so you can keep their protection up on top of them, and keep that kind of, Bastila in a lot of ways is really a one-trick wonder with that protection up and massive tenacity and everything, and you just got to kind of find ways to maintain that. I don't have her at gear 12, but Ahsoka Tano Fulcrum with her protection up. It's a really cool little dynamic to add in to that team. You may or may not have her, but certainly. So Bastila, Grandmaster Yoda, Hermit Yoda, and then General Kenobi is really brutal, and double tanks work really well on that one. If you're in a kind of area of your shard where you're not facing Revan and Traya, putting like a double tank of Kenobi and Old Ben or Kanan or just whatever other, one of those 3 Jedi tanks that you have is going to make them really annoying to any sort of like Rey comp or anything like that, or even other Bastila comps. It just takes so long to take them down in that. And it's really with any of these teams, we're seeing a huge transition on how we mod them, and really with Bastila, you have to mod them properly, and it makes a huge difference. They're getting their bonus protection not from their protection; they're getting it from their health. It's a health statistic. So you want health on the health on the circle, often health on the cross if they're not one of your damage dealers, and even you can have health on the circle if you have like a nice speedy circle for Bastila or for General Kenobi, those guys. So it's a health build, it's not a protection build, and that's going to make a huge difference for your performance in arena and how well you can hold in arena as well.
All right, next question for King Felix. This is from Isra Felks Gaming. Question: recently I unlocked Traya at gear 11 and I have 2 Zetas ready. Should I just switch from my solid 50 to 100 rank Bastila team when I'll just be murdered by Revan teams a little further up? God.
Well, I mean, you can, if you're sitting at 50 to 100 with Bastila, you'll sit 20 and higher with Traya, so you'll get all those extra crystals, even if you can't beat the Revan teams. Traya is still the second best leader in the game. And depending on how many Revans are in your shard, it might not even be that big of a problem. So I would definitely go with that. And then secondly, if you have those 2 Zetas, you're going to want Traya in Territory Wars anyway. So there's really no reason to hang on and wait the 6 months for Revan if that's your plan. You can get another couple Zetas by that time. So I would definitely put Traya in there as long as you have the rest of the team around her. If you have your Nihilus and your Scion and Sith Trooper and Thrawn or whoever you want to work with, I'd definitely make the change. You'll get up into the top 20, and you should be able to chill there with Traya.
All right.
Unless you have 30 Revans in your shard, then my apologies, and you're gonna have a rough life. But
it's a hard knock life.
Yeah.
Chewy. Let's see here.
Chewy.
Next question back to the top. Let me see. Warrior. Let's see the next one. We have one for you specifically from Bad Rongo Warrior. Question for Warrior. I'm almost done gearing up my Revan squad. I plan on running Revan, General Kenobi, Grandmaster Yoda, Jolee, and Ezra. Do you have any suggested substitutions, or is that the most solid squad?
Yes, I do actually have a substitution suggestion, and that is if you're going to run Jolee to run Old Ben. Obviously Revan and Grandmaster Yoda are like two peas in a pod. And a lot of people either use Bastila or Ezra. They're both really great. Both can dispel. So it's really important that you're able to, strip a taunt or something. And Ezra can do that as well as Bastila. I saw McMold's video on the case against Bastila, and I thought it was laughable because I use Bastila every day, and I find her preferable over. Man, that was an interesting cry out.
That was an amen.
That was a Jedi Master crying out in anger.
Yeah, but Ezra's good. He's just so the issue is Bastila doesn't do as much damage, but she primes Grandmaster Yoda up. She always targets him. So and then he passes it to everyone. So she's a superstar MVP like assistant. But Ezra does more damage, and so if you need that damage to like chew through people faster, then I get it. But I prefer Bastila. But when you move to Jolee, you've got a natural crit immunity with that character, so you don't really need the crit immunity, and everybody's going to end up targeting him anyway. And so you need a little bit more control because you're going to drag the battle out a little bit longer. And so with Jolee, I found that Old Ben gives you more control. First, Old Ben has his double taunt if you have his Zeta. Second, he can ability block, which is now relevant again, which it wasn't in the past. 3, if he actually doesn't land his debuffs, which is okay, he actually just speeds the team up. So it's like a win-win. You don't have enough potency, or they have too much tenacity, so what? Let's just use it as a turn meter booster. So now he's speeding the team up, which a lot of people don't even think about that. And then of course he has his ability, if the ability block lands, to reduce turn meter as well. It's not dependent on the turn meter reduction isn't dependent on the ability block, but it does happen as well. It's another thing it does. So you've got turn meter reduction potential, ability block potential, and if the debuffs don't land, he gives more turn meter. There's just there's a lot to his kit for control and speed and things like that, and an already fast team. And worst case scenario, they have to end up killing him, and then he just is revived, and when he's dead, he boosts the entire team with stats and health and protection, and that's like the worst person you could kill. So they're trying to ignore him, which is good, but then they have to kill both Jolee twice. Well, when they're trying to kill Jolee, he's going to be brought back to life by Revan, and then by that time, Old Ben is taunting, and they have to try to dispel that, and then they got to dispel it again, and by that time, now, Jolee isn't the target they're worried about because, you've got Grandmaster Yoda giving back rubs for 70 to 100k. So...
sure you will.
Yeah.
Here's the lotion. You must.
But I would say Old Ben over General Kenobi. General Kenobi's mass attack is amazing, and it will help you chew through characters faster, but it doesn't bring quite the control that Old Ben brings.
Very nice. All right, next question for Lady Adastra. This is from Eternal Revan. So it's Eternal Revan, not just Revan. Question: on a Revan led Jedi team, should you concentrate more on offense or CC cooldown, since he does special damage and he has a lower CC?
Oh, so specific modding for Revan is what that was?
Well, yeah, on a Revan led Jedi team, should you concentrate more on offense or CC, CD, since he does special damage and he has such a low CC?
Oh, okay, for everyone. Sorry, I wasn't sure if it was specific to him or the grouping. Yeah, well, it'll depend who he has with him. But Revan himself, you want speed above all else. Shocker, I know, right? because especially if you're competing with other Revan, it's much easier to win those battles if your Revan moves before their Revan. I mean, you can still win if you move second, but it just makes it way easier if you're the first one to mark an enemy before they do. So if you have like a fast crit damage set, then that's ideal, because he is a powerful attacker too. Like I have a crit damage triangle on him at least because of the boosts that he gives, the crit chance and the crit damage. So it's really easy to have a powerful Jedi squad. But again, make sure he has that speed first and foremost. So if you don't have a fast crit damage sets or offense sets or anything, just slap on the speed and get rolling. And then, obviously you'll have Grandmaster Yoda there. He doesn't have to be speedy to be good. You can make him slow and powerful, and you'll still destroy the enemy because you can crit for like 100k. You can one-shot stuff. It's pretty awesome. And then the tank, depending what tank you run, you can go either way with speed or not. Obviously, you don't have to worry at all about crit damage though on your tank, so I guess that's a moot point. If you have Ezra, you want crit damage also. That's a no-brainer. A fast crit damage set would be ideal, so he can use this spell or the assist, pretty quickly. So your damage dealers, yes, you're gonna have crit damage with speed secondaries, but again, Revan, you want the speed, all the freaking speed you can throw on him. It's unfortunately, speed is still king in that regard. But the other characters, you have a little bit of flexibility, depending on what your support cast is. But you just don't want to be too slow either. So again, it varies arena to arena what you're competing with, but yeah, speed.
All right. Next question to you, Mike. Some Sith Gorilla question around the corn, but we're going to go to you. To those that have Revan, how do you feel about him having so many counters right out the gate? Mike, what do you think?
I think it's brilliant. That's great. Love
Word?
It. Really, it's Revan. I think it's slightly ironic that Revan is kind of a direct counter to Traya, but requires huge investment to get, so therefore isn't open to free to play. So there is a certain irony here, but that's countered itself by the fact that there are so many counters now for Revan. I need to watch these videos actually, because I must admit I am tempted to kind of almost just bench Revan for raids and just start hitting them with anything but. I did that with Chase when everyone was using Chase in Arena. Right. I did a self-imposed embargo on them. I didn't allow myself to use them and had to find different comps that worked and were effective. And it's kind of almost feeling like that now, which is weird considering he's just out and he is meant to be quite a rare character. But seeing everywhere that he is, I mean, he's across the board, isn't he? I mean, with the last territory war where he'd just been launched, we faced an entire wall of Revans. Yeah, I mean, they had to. I mean, just for the territory war aspect of it. Yeah, if you could get 25 or 50 of them in your guild and just put them on 2 nodes, effectively, that would mean that no one would ever get past that node.
All right. Well spotted. Next question to King JLY9 question. Does anyone think Sith Marauder will be needed to unlock the next KOTOR Sith character? I can see Nihilus, Scion, Sith Assassin, Sith Trooper, and Marauder being needed.
So, I mean, it's possible, but if they did that, I feel like they'd have to put a tag on those the dark side Old Republic characters.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'd have dark side Old Republic and light side Old Republic, because you couldn't just put all the Old Republic tags on the Triumvirate and those guys right after the Revan event came around, where you had to use Old Republic. So they'd have to change up some tags. I sincerely hope they don't, because I hate Sith Marauder. He was amazing looking when he first came out, and then realized he absolutely sucks. So I'm really hoping he's not used for anything. Entirely possible, but I don't know who they'd bring out using those characters. So I hope not.
Yeah.
I think it's more likely you get like a Sith ship, capital ship, or something like that. I think that's more likely at this point than adding Old Republic tags to the Sith, the old Republic Sith, because I don't see that coming.
All right. Next question for T-Money. Michael Stranad. Strnaad. Stranad. Okay. Question there, T. Haven't seen much video showcasing the B-28. What are your thoughts on the ship?
Yeah, we've got a little video out. It's got like 1,300 views. It's a little disappointing.
There's a video.
It is admittedly our very worst video. Basically, good old Maurice and I, it was like right in the middle of Revan everything, and we're trying to get videos ready. And we went in and we're like, okay, let's just play this ship. And he went in with who was out front? I think it was Vader, Sith Assassin, Sith Marauder, and against the warrior meta team, against the like Houndstooth, Xanadu, Blood, and Phoenix, Ghost, and just like won. It's like, oh. Then we played another one and another one and he just won again and again and again and again, no problem. Mostly because of these concussion bombs, and because you've got like this auto taunter that's protecting Sith Assassin. Like, it's a cool ship. Every time you get every time a Sith Sith shit takes damage. It's
little
weird, but
those tits. I mean, they are.
That's easy for you to say.
Every time a Sith ship takes damage, there's a chance to put one of the concussion bombs on the other ships. When the B-28 comes out of reinforcements, it puts 2 on everybody every time. Like, it's like there's all these mechanics to put the concussion bombs on the other ships, and then they do a great big I think it's 20% of health damage when they go off and put daze for 2 turns. So that's it's just it brings synergy for the first time to those Sith teams. Now, is it realistic to get this ship? Not at all. I want this ship. I do. Like, I'm not really into the bounty hunter ships at all. I think we're going to need them, and I think everybody needs to farm them. Like, we do. We put out a video like a month ago now saying like, oh, okay, geez, we need bounty hunters for Chewie. We have bounty hunter ships. What are we going to need those for? Right? Like, so... Yeah, for the Vulcan. Like, that's, I mean, it's like, don't sleep on that, right? Like, that's, but so I don't like the way they play. I really do like this, but this is like a 6-month thing for me. So I don't think it's realistic. But I do think it's a nice team, especially for those who have ships and those who are going to whale on ships. This is a team that I would definitely make as your Territory Wars offensive team. Easy peasy. From everything we've played, it's a guaranteed win against that meta. And right now, when you're facing like Houndstooth after Houndstooth and Territory Wars, this is a very hard counter to that, in my opinion.
All right,
T.
Yeah.
What star level does B-28 need to be at?
I would say it needs to be 7. Like, it's a tank, right? There's tons of protection regeneration, but it's 6 or 7. I would say some of the battles are close. Like, he wins in our video. He wins every battle. Some of the battles are a little close, so I wouldn't see it being like, it's definitely not a 3 or 4 star ship. No. It could be a 6 star ship. with a little bit of like finessey offense. If you're dancing on offense, maybe, but it's a tank, right? It's not like the Houndstooth where you're getting that bonus protection. There's nothing really to protect it other than the regeneration. So it's so weird. The Sith are so squishy, little wussies, right? It's like Vader. I am the king of everything. I'm gonna one-shot you with Poe. Okay.
See, I was wondering what would be considered a Sith capital ship and whether it's the Death Star.
Oh, that would be pretty cool. I always think of like the scale of things. Like, would the Death Star fit on the screen in a realistic manner? I mean, Vader.
It would just be in the background, like
you just see this green beam come out of nowhere, and you
of
see your lineup gets explode.
It'd be like the Worms game where suddenly it's like, wait, why is the screen changing color? Oh my god, move!
Yeah, or like, what about Revan, like with Darth Revan, like because they had all of those.
We're not bringing the Star Forge. Yeah, no, none of that crap. No, that's too big.
Is it too big? Okay, yeah, because that was a big part of their piece, right? Like that's where Bastila stepped in and helped defeat the Sith.
Yeah, they did have a
fleet.
Yeah,
So
they could be those Old Republic ships. I mean, they could pick one and make it a capital ship for one of them, but who knows at this point. All right.
Apparently, I was just going to say, apparently for Darth Revan, you'll need every tune 7-star gear 12 plus.
That's right.
And all
that is true. That was leaked.
Before you can unlock him.
Every tune gear 12. 7-star. It's like one massive battle
with the Zetas. Just throwing that out there.
Zetas.
Even the ones you don't want to do. All right, next question, and we're gonna go to Warrior for this next one. This is from Eric Seymour, and Eric wants to know, Warrior, speculation on what's coming next. You can kind of go around the corner if you want, but what are your thoughts? What do you think is going to happen? We had the big marquee thing, and now we've had a legendary and a hero's journey back to back, and now we're in limbo because nothing's being said. I mean, what do you think? I was talking to Miss about this. This is a great question, and we were looking at the fact that there's no movie this year, so they're not going to be able to introduce a whole bunch of characters and generate revenue from that.
Revenue.
Well, you see what I'm saying? But that being, with no movie coming out in December like they've had for the last 3 years, they're going to have to try to supplement that income some form of way. So do you think we're getting more legendaries, more heroes, something new? I mean, what do you think, Warrior?
Well, just going off of what they've said on the forums, when I say they, I'm talking Carrie. She's been very vocal this last year. She said that, sorry for all the marquees, thought you guys liked them, didn't realize that it was kind of a thing. He didn't until it was too late, and then we had them already planned, so you're going to have to weather the marquee storm. But after that, we will still have a few marquees, but we're going to try and speed up the timeline of the other types of events, and we'll try to, basically sprinkle the rest of the marquees in throughout the rest of the end of the year, so they rearrange their schedule. But she said good news is, that means that you'll have all the characters you need, and you'll be able to farm them earlier for those other style events, which we're starting to see with Chewie and with, Revan and whatnot. And so when you look at the characters we've gotten with the Bounty Hunters and the Old Republic and the solo tunes, they've all found a purpose in the game. Not super happy with the solo's purpose, but they all have found purpose. So with that said, I don't see any more of those style events with those style people. So then I look to, well, what hasn't been reworked, because they normally do new rework, like they go back and forth. They've done that the entire time in existence, and it's now back to rework. That's the rotation that they're on. So it has to be, in my opinion, if they're keeping with their traditions, a rework of some sort. And traditionally with reworks, they bring out 1 or 2 new characters, and they rework 2 or 3 in a faction. So I guess the factions that are kind of left and out there in limbo that people want to see is the droids and the separatists. And the funny thing is with droids, they suck. They sucked so bad for so long, but they just kept adding good droids. They started with R2D2, and then like Chopper and T3 now, and L3, and just they started adding all these like really good one-offs, and every time they bring another one-off, the team gets stronger and stronger and stronger. So, I mean, we could be seeing a droid rework potential, but really it would be like HK-47 needing his rework and, maybe a couple others, but it could also be a Separatist rework. I know initially, there was something on Reddit about there being a Separatist rework and stuff, but I know the Capital Games likes to shuffle their cards when their cards are seen, so who knows what's coming. Honestly, the speculation, I did a speculation video this year. I traditionally tend to guess pretty regularly. I'm pretty on point with my guesses, and I was way off, so my timeline was just totally screwed. I was expecting February for Revan, and they pushed it all the way up 6 months early, so to my timeline. So I have no idea, honestly. I am guessing there is another capital ship coming because they're building out our base ships, and once you have enough, there's always time to introduce a new one. And if General Grievous were to get reworked over the next couple of months, I think he would have the invisible hand added and things as such. So, I think, there's going to be a rework with a few new character adds. And then after that, the next month, there'll be a couple of special events. And as far as there being no new content because there's no new movies, I know it sounds silly, but there is the Resistance cartoon that a lot of people are like, whatever, but that always gives them an opportunity to revisit Resistance and First Order because that's the era in which that is. And Snoke lives in this world. So, and this is the rise of Snoke. So this is kind of that storyline moment where everybody wanted to hear and to see that hasn't existed yet. So I know if it's all dumbed down, for like a 5-year-old, it's going to be a little bit hard to watch. But I mean, storyline alone,
it's really not. I've watched it. It's really good. It's not a kids show. It's like Rebels. I mean, Dave Filoni does it. So I mean.
Yeah, well, they started it out kind of palatable and almost childlike in Rebels, but then it got really deep, and by halfway through, you could tell it was definitely written with an adult perspective, and a lot of children are going to get half of what was being done. But it's kind of layered. It's almost like SpongeBob, SpongeBob. People laugh that I love SpongeBob, but I freaking love him because the writers layer that where they make stupid sound and the kid laughs, but what he says is something the kid doesn't even understand. It's an inside joke from the 1980s, and it's like, that's hilarious. Yep. So it's all about the layering, and we'll see. I haven't got to see more than just a couple of snippets. So, but I think check it out. Yeah, I think in November, December, we could potentially see something from that movie. Probably December, if anything. But I think November will be a rework month.
Yeah. All right, next question specifically for Adastra from Hermit Fulcrum. Question for Adastra: how do I counter Revan with my Bastila?
First of all, that's a fun username. Props to that. I've been testing with this because I was curious too. Like, can Bastila compete with Revan? And it's also going hand in hand. I want to test breaking up my squads, like for territory wars and such. So yes, Bastila can defeat Revan. It is not easy. By no means it is easy, especially if they're running the best Revan squad combinations out there. Like with Jolie, Zeta Jolie, and Bastila of their own. But I found success with the classic Bastila comp, the one with Bastila, General Kenobi, Hermit Yoda, Grandmaster Yoda, and Ezra. It's a pretty solid comp. You're not gonna go first. If they're Revan, the opposing Revan is properly modded. There's no way you're gonna outspeed him. On that first movement. He takes away Bastila's TM boost for your squad. So you just have to pray you survive that first onslaught. Unfortunately, it'll really depend on what their Revan marks. You're just hoping they don't mark your Grandmaster Yoda. If they mark anyone else, you've got a shot. And so yeah, you just weather that initial storm, and then you try to focus one of them down right away to get that free revive out there, and then you just, based on again what comp you're facing, you try to take out, if they have a Jolie there, you got to kill him as soon as possible so he doesn't revive the team there. But between Bastila and Ezra, you can dispel the buffs, so you can target whichever one you're wanting to kill at the time or deal with. And then you have options, though, to fill in, if that main squad isn't working. I've tried other combinations. You can try the double tank one, again, with the premise of protecting your Grandmaster Yoda. He has to be alive for you to have a chance. I've even plugged in Qui-Gon Jinn for that extra dispel and the assist, and it's easy to make him fast too, because again, you're not going to beat them on the first movement, but you can still mod your squad really fast in comparison. So like after you weather their first storm, then you bring the pain on your end to focus one of them down. So you have your options. It's not an easy fight, like Revan can pretty much auto Bastila squads. Like Bastila squad can't auto a Revan squad. So you just have to play it smart. You have to have good mods compared to the Revan squad mods, but it is possible with that squad I listed for you. I'll probably have a video maybe out to help demonstrate that, because I wouldn't mind seeing just a Jedi only arena, Bastila squad, Revan squads,
I will do everything
all
in
in
my power
arena
to make sure that never happens.
Yeah, let's bring back Qui-Gon Jinn lead too.
Oh Christ!
Oh yeah, there we go. Why not?
All right, next question. Let's see. This is from Eternal Revan to Mike. Question: My Revan has 316 max speed with my current mod set, but I had to use a health primary cross to attain that speed. Should I sacrifice 7 speed and switch the cross to offense? What do you think there, Mikey?
I think for 7 speed, it's a worthy trade. For myself, hitting harder is always a good thing, and he's still going to be going a lot. You've got other ways of bringing him into play as well. I would switch that out, put that onto one of your tanks or something.
All right.
Yes.
Let's see. Next question. Go to King Felix. It's from Travis Anderson. Any news on the road ahead, King Felix?
Yes,
we have no idea.
Grande got me a job at CG, and I know everything. Work on your Tuscans, wink, wink. No, please don't take me seriously. I have no idea what's going on. Nobody except for Grande knows. So PM him. He knows everything.
He does.
That CG is doing. Actually, it's funny because doing the Revan event where they had the other couple of Tuscans, like Tuscan Elder and Tuscan Champion, I was like, what if this is a subtle move and, like Asherad Head is coming or something like that? I think would be awesome, but kind of a dick move for CG because everyone knows the Tuscans suck.
They're awful. Well, it's funny. We haven't got a road ahead. I mean, at this point, what's the point of putting out a road ahead?
They should do a road behind, and they'll just tell us everything that happened in the last 2 months.
A road looked back. Let's call it roadkill.
Roadkill. You got Revan. 2% of you got Revan, and he's really good. There's a lot of counters though. Haha.
Enjoy yourselves. Oh goodness. We'll see what happens. Maybe they'll still put it out. Let's see here. Next question. From Helenix. We're going to go to our Canadian correspondent, and they're up there in Calgary. I guess that's where she's at. I don't know where T-Money is. I just know she goes to the woods and fiddles.
Agree indeed.
Helenix, question. Darth Trey is no longer tops in Squad Arena. For those who are just now or will soon be unlocking her in the near future, why should they still be striving to unlock and 7-star her? I already got her, but others are now saying she isn't worth getting anymore, and I'd like to know how to put those fears to rest.
Well, Arena is one aspect of this very diverse game. It is the most important one because that's where your crystal income is coming from. That is going to fuel the rest of your game. So you need to figure out a way to make that happen and to, maintain whatever arena rank that you've been getting and to hopefully improve that month over month. Traya is an amazing character that's like saying, like, don't bother getting Chewie or don't bother getting Bastila. I mean, it's like, no, like, let's put the Eeyores away. I'm tired of the Eeyores. Like, let's just shelve those. And I don't like Traya poo. Like, this is how I look at Revan. And I have him, so it's not really fair that I get to look at him this way. But my Revan doesn't beat other Revans necessarily, right? Like, because Revan is very much about speed and speed mods, and I don't have the best speed mods on my shard. So it can be challenging. It can be very challenging. However, imagine if like Ranger's shard, what was it? What did you say? 13 out of the top 20? Like, imagine just one day you had 13, not 5-star Traya, 7-star Traya in your shard. Like, everybody would be like, oh my god, like, this guy has fallen. But we figure it out, right? We figure out our magmas. We figure out all of these different ways to kill Traya with tunes that we have. And so, that's what Revan is. That we're going to figure out how to kill Revan a million different ways. However, it's about, it's like, okay, well, now I'm going to tweak my Traya team to be this way. Oh, now it's harder to kill with magma. And that's what's going to happen with Revan. Once Jolie start getting into the mix, that is going to make a totally different dynamic in Arena. You're not going to be able to go in there with Mother Talzin and take them down. Like, you're going to need different strategies to take them down. You can mod your Traya in a different way so that it's very difficult for a Revan team to take it down, right? Like, figure those things out. Figure out how to use your Traya in the best way possible. And, Traya teams are taking down my Revan every single day. So I don't know, like, I think that people need to take a look at, think about what the vulnerabilities are. If you're modding your Traya for like 8,000 offense and and she's like a little frail waif, well, yeah, Revan's gonna poke at her and she's gonna fall, right? Like, of course. So so what if you mod your Traya to be 110,000 health and protection? Well, that's a different build, right? And so you have to take what you have and tweak it and use it. And that's the fun of this game. The fun of this game isn't just like pressing auto in Arena, right? Like, figure it out, figure out how to win. And I think that Traya is, the second best tune in this, the second best leader in this game, possibly the best leader, because it's still a very, I think that Revan in Territory Wars is easier to take down than Traya is, in a lot of ways, because she has that very specific dynamic with the heal that Revan doesn't. Anyway, blah 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 blah. No more Eeyores. Figure it out, people. It's completely possible. EA is not going to give us an unbeatable tune because that just doesn't work. It's not going to work.
Well, every character is unbeatable when they see the kit reveal, and then everyone loses their mind. And then everyone figures out that you can beat him. Because I remember when Commander Luke came out, and everyone lost their damn minds. He can do the Rancor by himself. He's the best character in the world. 1 year later, and they're like, oh yeah, Luke, yeah, I use him on, Territory War filler teams. Yeah, it's fine.
All right.
Can I ask kind of a follow-up question to T for that one? It's not necessarily directly related, but it's just kind of more on your thoughts. There's a couple of characters that previously were kind of considered like insta-killers, whether it was SWGOH or IPD being the two main ones because they do the massive damage. But the massive damage is kind of capped out at 99,999, right? And now with mods 2.0 and all these extra stats and stuff, characters are... I mean, it requires good mods, but you can see them getting over that 100,000 limit fairly easily. Do you think they need to change the value of massive damage to allow those characters to be able to do that, what we would consider massive damage, that insta-kill type ability that doesn't necessarily mimic Nihilus, right? Because there's a lot of revive now abilities. But do you think they need to revisit the massive damage aspect?
I think it's pardon me. I think it's more that you need to plan more for that in offense. Like I was using IPD against a Revan team, using some droids against a Revan team, and I had IPD in there, and I pointed IPD at Jolie, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I got you!" And I sent him in, and like you can't see for all of the buffs, and so he must have had like a couple sacks of bonus protection or something in there, and I didn't kill him, and I was like, ah. So it's really about planning, right? If you're using IPD, even with Magma Trooper, if you're going in. You got your Thrawn lead. IPD is like a valid tune to bring in with you, on your Magma team. But if you want to get rid of Sith Trooper, say, you're not going to point him at Sith Trooper and expect him to take him down. You have to like eat away some of the protection first, right? So it's just a matter of kind of planning that out a little bit more. You can't just like immediately push the button and someone disappears. You have to kind of make sure that even Traya can get above 100,000 health and protection. So you go and you look at your Traya before you go into that battle and you say, well, how much is she? Okay, she's 105,000 health and protection. I have to like hit her a couple times to make sure that I can IPD her. So it's just planning ahead a little bit, I think, with those characters. SWGOH takes so much planning ahead to begin with. I don't even he's always so novel, and Good Maurice has used him quite a bit in Arena, but I don't have the Zeta on him. I don't have him geared. I don't bother with him just because it's so much planning with that guy.
What
so
Team Money's saying is she's lazy, so let's
totally.
I'm come on now.
Super
let's
duper
just throw that out
lazy.
there.
Yeah.
No, well, SWGOH is right, because he needs the character to be below 50% anyways, and we don't have any 200,000 health and protection characters yet.
Yeah.
Wait until Jabba comes out.
Yeah, I know. But IPD, you can get that off the bat. So it's more designed as a question towards the overall concept of massive damage, but effectively it's really just a relook at IPD and his effectiveness if he doesn't be able to get that like initial explosion on whatever character if they're all like over 100,000. But obviously that's modulated as well, to your point.
And a lot of our characters are hitting for that now. Like good Grandmaster Yoda, he'll hit for 100,000 on his special regularly, right? So he's like a little mini massive damage tune in of himself. And Ezra, people with the Ezra Zeta and like lots of offense piled on him, he'll do great big damage on his special too. So yeah, I think it's about the power creep too. Like 100,000 used to be unheard of, mind blowing, but now we have tunes that do that just regularly. So yeah, I mean, maybe it has to be revisited, but they're still usable. You just have to plan. You have to plan with IPD. And God, like, how many times has IPD actually worked for anyone? Certainly when I'm going with IPD against Revan just like looks at him and he's like, yes, I think that will destroy that thing right off the bat. Like if you don't hide IPD really well, he's never gonna get his special off. And then if you hide him. And then if you hide him too well, then he's never going to get, you need Emperor Palpatine in there to pull down his health so that he's got his special ready. And then you're down a tune anyway. So I don't know. Like I have him geared, but he's not great. Really, like he's fantastic in theory, but how many times has he actually worked for me? I don't know.
All right. Next question. We're going to go back up top to Warrior. This is from Michael J, however you want to say it. Question. Anyone tried the new Bounty Hunter ships together in arena or test server? And are they enough to beat the Geonosis or Biggs meta at the moment? Or have you done anything with that? Do you know if it is possible?
Yeah. You read it one more time, sorry.
Yeah, question is, has anyone tried the new Bounty Hunter ships together in arena or test server? Are they enough to beat the Geo's Biggs meta at the moment?
Yeah, they are, but IG 2000, in my humble opinion, isn't worth having in that third slot. I mean, I think I know Houndstooth and XB are both, really good ships, and I have been using them since their inception for both of them. But and yeah, they do very well against the Geo meta. Everybody has the Geo meta, so with the third ship, I'm not really sure. I think there's better options to put into that third slot than that one, but yeah, they're absolutely viable against the Geo meta.
So with that third ship, would you just leave it out completely, or would it be a reinforcement? I mean, or just
I leave it out.
Leave it out completely.
That's what I do. Yeah.
And
I'm not a fan of G2000. I'm not a fan of the new Sith ships, even though I know the newest ship, the bomber's okay. I'm just not a fan of the Sith meta there or the full bounty hunters.
All right, you heard it here first, folks. Only use those 2 bounty hunter ships. The third one, you can just let it collect little dust. Work on it if you want to, but there you go. All right, next question for Lady Adastra. From Sith Gorilla question, I'm close to starting Visas. How should I mod her for JTR Phase 1 team? How should I mod her for Arena if she's viable there?
Hey, congrats on soon to have a 7-star Vasas. She's a lot of fun. For the Phase 1, it's slightly altered now with the nerf that they did to the end there, because it used to be you just straight up no speed, all offense, crit damage set. But because of those changes, she doesn't have to be slow. I mean, you could put some extra speed on her now, because he's not going to annihilate that quickly now. So you kind of have more options in how you want to mod her. I still prefer to mod her slow and powerful. So, you want a crit damage set no matter what, and then as much offense as you can apply on her. Speed doesn't matter. You can go with 0 speed, you can go with 10 speed, 20 speed. Doesn't matter. The main thing is she's assisting and critting. Yeah, you want crit chance too, so she'll crit reliably. You want to shoot for at least 50% crit chance. Higher the better, of course, and just let her destroy. And then for Arena, you got to go the opposite, because if she never moves, not much use there. Depending on what you're going against, of course, too, because I've tried to use her in Arena on quite a few squads, because I really want to make her work. I refuse to believe that she's only good in the Sith raid and as a support in Territory Wars. So Arena, she is kind of viable. I mean, I'll have to test her some more now with the change-ups we're seeing with Revan being in there. Be kind of fun to see if she can compete with any of that. But you do want some speed on her. Again, the most ideal would be a crit damage, crit chance with speed secondaries, or you can go an offense set with crit damage triangle. Or if you don't have ones that are fast, you'll have to throw speed or health sets with speed as secondary. So basically whatever your best secondary speeds you have available for her, because she'll get those assists, and then she can revive your allies, and then her it just kind of depends. But so Arena, more speedy, but still somewhat strong. Sith raid, you want her hitting like a truck.
All right. Next question to you, Mike. Question from 1073. Question. Yesterday, I noticed that during landslide territory battle missions, my characters weren't counterattacking when they had retribution up. Is there something in territory battles that prevents counters, or is that just buggy?
I'm not aware of any bugs in regards to countering in this is it, territory battles, did he say, or territory wars?
Territory battles,
yeah. Trying to think. No, I haven't experienced it. I would say it's just down to the RNG. You didn't sacrifice enough to the gods of RNG before you went in. It would be my assumption, because I doubt there isn't anything that has got 100% counter chance as such, is there? Unless you've got
He said he had retribution up, so he might have put up something from like Kenobi, for example. I mean, there are some stealths. So there's stealths. There's a lot of call to assist, which don't trigger the counterattacks either. So there are some possible things that would cause attacks that wouldn't trigger counterattacks. I think we would have to actually see kind of the battle to tell you for sure if it's a bug or not, because it's hard just to say. There's a lot of mechanics that are in there that would make it so a counter may not happen, whether it's a stealth, whether it's the several call to assist that may trigger multiple attacks. I mean, so sometimes you take damage without actually triggering the retribution aspect of it. And so it's hard to tell, because only the initial attacker triggers the counterattack, not the assists or anything like that.
All right. Next question for King Felix. This is from Faye Mock. Question: is there a Grievous rework in his capital ship, and will it require clone troopers to unlock it? What do you think there, King Felix?
It's highly possible. I'm with you, Ranger. I know you've been saying Grievous and Geonosis are coming to Battlefront, so it's likely they're coming to Galaxy of Heroes as well. I think it's probably going to wait until the new Clone Wars Saved comes out, the new show, most likely. But they could do it beforehand. I hope so, because I think Grievous would be really cool. He's never been good. he's always been a trophy, and now he's not even a trophy because anybody can get him. But clones, you could. You already have Jedi getting Grandmaster Yoda, so I doubt you'd have Jedi getting Grievous. So you'd either have, I'm guessing, clones or droids to get Grievous, his capital ship, or something like that. I'm not really sure what else they do for, because he's already in the game, so it's not like they're releasing they're not going to release a whole new Grievous. That would be ridiculous. But I hope they do that rework. But I wouldn't hold my breath unless you're Arnold and deleting his channel soon.
I've come to increase the level in cap. Stop your whining. All right.
No level increase. All right. None of that.
Well, that leads us to the next question from our good friend Xylo. Team Money.
Yeah.
Question for the panel. Level cap increase inbound possibly. Team Money, what do you think?
Yeah, like we super duper expected that right after the Sith raid.
And we was wrong.
We was wrong, but maybe this is just a thought right now. Maybe it was planned, but we tackled the Sith raid way faster than they thought we would, so it wasn't a needed course of action. Mm-hmm. That's a theory that I'm putting out there.
And she's sticking with it.
And I'm sticking with it. But yeah, I mean, level cap increase. I saved credits. I was like, everyone save credits. I was like, because I demand things of the guild sometimes when my crystal ball says so.
You're very, you're very dictatory there, Team Money, when it comes to that stuff.
I'm very what?
Dictatorship-ish.
Oh.
You're Hitler.
Dictatorial.
You're a Richard Potato.
It's more of a pleading. There are very few things that I actually say you need to do this. Some modding things. I'm like, everyone needs to do this by this date, and I give some realistic date or some unrealistic date depending on like how unorganized I am. Like, oh, we should have done that a long time ago. So I'll be like, you have to do this. And then for like the KOTOR tunes, I'm like, hey everyone, like I don't even think I did. I think one of the officers was like, this is coming, like, come on guys. So it was more of like a rah-rah thing. Mm-hmm. I haven't dictated anything except Bastila. I did. I said, Bastila is so useful. She takes 2 stun guns, a droid collar, and a furnace. You guys need to do her. You have 2 weeks. That's, I at 3 stars, 4 stars didn't matter. I was like, she has to be done. She's so useful for territory wars. So I don't regret that at all. What were we talking about though? Level cap increase. Yeah. Is that what we're talking about? Yeah.
Right down the rabbit hole.
It's meh. I'm not gonna.
It's definitely inbound. I mean, we've been paranoid. It's gonna be around the corner for so many of these events.
Long.
Because they're making us use up our resources.
If it happens,
so they could easily throw.
Happy New Year! Here's a new level increase.
Yeah, because it's like a lot of the old, like the day one players. I don't realize this because I do not have 100,000 credits stacked up, but lots of the day one, like more like pay to play player, they have all these credits, and so it asks me, right, 100 million. Yeah. Like, I don't know, 100 million. I'm making these numbers up, but a heck of a lot more than
why have millions when we can have thousands
and hundreds.
But yeah, I don't think that it's a thing that they want us to have all of these resources. But anyway, I certainly don't. I'll be not having a great time if there's a level cap increase. I have my credits marked for other things.
Have a holly jolly Christmas.
Same with like mods alone. That's where a lot of my credits end up going. And just remodding can be pretty costly if you're moving stuff around for territory wars or for raiding or just in general.
That's why I only remod when a new character comes out.
Have a holly jolly. All right, next question. Back to the top to Warrior. We have a question for you, specifically Warrior, from our good friend Sith Gorilla. Question for Warrior. When using Old Ben in a Revan squad, is there a target speed for him?
No, not a target speed, really, but with Old Ben, the healthier and faster he is, the more absolutely annoying he is. I've got mine around 230, and with the additional 40 speed that I get from Revan Lead, he's 270, so a 270 Old Ben is a nightmare for most people. Even some Throns at times have a hard time keeping up with that Old Ben. Plus, he's over 50,000 health. So just physically takes a lot of time to chew through when just 3 different health mechanisms going to work, constantly reviving and healing. Plus they all get additional health steal and things like that. So even just using his basic heals himself back up by a percentage. So high health, high speed. I guess my goal, if I was going to put a target on it, would be you should shoot for, if possible, 220 speed minimum and shoot for 50,000 health minimum, and both of those would be great. I'm shooting for over 220 and over 50,000 health on both Jolie and on Old Ben because, like I said, it makes things just a little more nightmarish for the people facing it.
All right. See, next question, Lady Adastra. We have a question here for you, Adastra, from Fat Tony 99. Question for Dasha. What is the best Revan comp for arena defense?
Oh, good question. I've been experimenting a lot with this. Both in the fun sense.
Not experimenting with drugs. Let's talk about Jedi, not drugs, Dasha. Let's stay on target here.
So the way I see it as your core, you're going to have Revan, Grandmaster Yoda, Jolie, and Bastila. Like, those 4 are just so powerful together. It is ridiculous, especially if you have the Zeta on Jolie. And then you have quite a few options for the 5th spot. Warrior just commented on a really good one. Having Old Ben in there is a great option for, like I said, he covered it well, so I don't need to iterate on that. Then you also have the option of General Kenobi. If you want him fast too, so you can get that spam attack after everyone else has moved. So, ideally your Revan will mark someone and hopefully kill something with the group assault. If not, you'll get finished off with, Grandmaster Yoda or someone else. And then Kenobi can do his mass attack on someone else that you can potentially KO someone, or you get them down really weak. And then that crit immunity, can help, and the taunt, a tank in general. So I've been alternating on defense through these different squads just to see by comparison in my shard how they do. And that one, I stay in top 5. I don't really, or top 10 at worst. So it's pretty powerful on defense. Same if you don't even have to have a tank. Another powerful one is having Hermit Yoda as that 5th spot. Again, you want him fast. Surprise, right? Because, the Master's training, hopefully he'll call Grandmaster Yoda. I mean, it's not always the case. But his basic grants 5% PM gain for all the Jedi. So that's, you'll help everyone to move quicker. And then again, Master's training is an awesome boost for whoever he gives it to. And then he's in stealth, so he's not going to be targeted right away. The downside of that, though, if you're facing other Revan squads, their Grandmaster Yoda can steal the stealth, and then it's more of a pain to kill the enemy Grandmaster Yoda. But again, it's a powerful squad on defense as well. I left it on defense to test it out. And the healing, because he has the mass heal and that extra foresight. Again, I have them all Zetaed though, so that kind of affects things too. I'm just going to assume the full Zetaed squad are the best squads that you're asking about. So imagine you have everything Zetaed. So again, you definitely want that 4-4, and then you have a few options for the 5th. As for the most annoying squads. But again, it comes also down to modding. You do need some good mods to make them more of a pain to the shard. You could have this squad, but terrible mods, they're gonna walk right over you. But yeah, those are some of your options for the best group.
All right. Next question from Mikey. This is from Moss Mike. Hey, Mike to Mike. Question: what is the best way to mod Jolie in Arena?
I've gone the health route, actually. Let me just go back. I've just been leveling up mods, so I've just got a protection health that's turned speed twice, 11 speed. Health was what I went for. Actually, no, it's not. It's speed and health. So. Yeah, just you want him healthy because of his abilities. Assist, heal the ally for 30% of Jolie's max health, and then all other Jedi allies recover half that amount. So the bigger his health pool, the more he's healing everybody, keeping them viable, keeping them up and running in the game. And experience and wisdom. Jolie has plus 30% max health. Whenever he uses an ability that targets an ally, he grants that ally protection up for 2 turns equal to 30% of his max health. Health with speed, because you want him to move, you want him to actually do his bit. So it's always that combination. Health with secondary speed and secondary health.
Well, it's more important for him to be annoying than to be fast. I just want to elaborate on that, if that's okay.
Yeah, no, you go ahead.
Because in an arena game, in an arena match, you want him to survive. Yes, secondary speed is great, but if you can get him healthy and tanky and annoying, some people even load up on the crit avoidance to just where you're doing nothing to him. Or you can do defense sets, along with the health. You have the health as the primary. That's the most important thing for him. You want him healthy. And then you have those options for the secondaries. But speed, he doesn't have to be super fast. Keep in mind you'll get that boost from the Revan lead there. So it's just more important for him to be, it's healthy.
All right. Next question for King Felix. This is Vanilla Papayas. Question: what is the lowest acceptable gear level for Magma Trooper? And I'm always imagining when I hear that Ranger saying magma. So, Liquid Hot Magma Trooper, King Felix, what do you think?
So I personally am really bad with the Magma Grand Admiral Thrawn team. So mine is Gear 11 and nearly a Gear 12 because I need the extra help. But I have seen Gear 10s do it. I would be worried about a Gear 9 because you're not going to get the same amount of damage output that you need with the lower gear. But I've seen plenty of Gear 10 Magma Troopers be able to take out the teams. But for me, somebody who struggles with that team, it's Gear 11 with some pretty damn good mods because I need all the help I can get. But I would say Gear 10 is the lowest you could get.
All right. Next question for Team Money, eh? Let's see here. This is from Lung Yu Fambini. That is, I'm not even, I'm just going to call you For Team Money question, do I farm mods or should I start upgrading to 6E mods?
So I asked for his SWGOH.gg when I saw that question come in because it's really dependent on where you are. I can say for myself. Okay, first I'll give you a baseline. So I have 135 double-digit speed secondaries, and my roster is 3.4 million GP. That's like the lowest in my guild for both stats, for double-digit speed mods and for GP. So that's like, if you're lower than that, you definitely want to be upgrading your current mods, taking all of your greens up, taking all of your blues up. If your green is a 9 or a 10, get those up all the way. They're nice and cheap. Get them up. For blues, same way. And then if you just don't have any mods in your inventory that you can raise the secondary speeds up and the flat offense up and the health up, whatever you're trying to build. Like I tend to build tune-specific mods, but you also need to have that speed base for territory wars because you can't go into territory wars with a bunch of slow teams. You're just going to get mowed over. Doesn't matter what your health secondaries are on your, CLS. You need to have him. You need to have him fast. You need to have lots of your tunes fast. Some tunes you can build slow too, like Han, but for the majority, 80% of your tunes, 85% of your tunes, you need to have some nice secondary speed mods on them. Now, if you don't have those in your inventory at all, you're going to need to go and farm mods. I hate farming mods. I would just buy the mods. just go in. You love it. Look for gold mods with speed secondaries and then nice statistics surrounding them. Defense is on like every single bloody mod these days. I don't know if it always used to be like that, but they're just always on the mods and they always want to roll. And yes, there's use for defense, but it is rare. You want the speed, you want flat offense percentage too, because that gets a nice boost at 6E. Lots of tunes are demanding critical chance, health, protection. Those are the flat health and protection. Those are the ones that you're wanting to look for. So you're wanting like nice force statistics. I refresh the mod shop all the time. Like I go in and I'll spend, like 100 crystals, 200 crystals, refreshing the shop and looking for mods. If you don't want to do that, you need to be in there, 4 times a day that it refreshes, and looking for mods all of the time to build up your inventory. So it's really dependent on where you are as a player, what your GP is, and what you have in your current inventory. as far as arena goes, if you're sleeping on 60 mods for arena, that's not a good idea. You're going to need those that circle, that cross at the health at you're going to need the 60 health primaries. You're going to need a nice 60 offense set. You're going to need these superior mods. It's the difference between having a Gear 11 tune and a Gear 12 tune. It just feels completely different. So don't sleep on those 60 mods as long as you have a nice base in your inventory to begin with.
All right, back to the top to warrior, eh?
Hello?
What do you mean? Hello.
Can she not hear us? I don't know if she can hear us.
Tia Money?
I can't hear anything.
She can't hear anything.
Uh-oh. You better.
We've lost connection with Canada. We've lost connection with Canada.
Oh, Canada.
Okay. No, I have you back. Sorry. Hopefully that was all.
All we needed was a Canadian anthem. Canadian anthem, and she was back.
Yeah.
Someone say maple syrup?
See? All right. Next question for Warrior. Warrior, this is from Captain Blackbeard. On a Revan-led mirror match, which characters do you mark first? Revan, Jolee, Grandmaster Yoda, or General Kenobi?
Well, if it's say those three targets again, the General Kenobi.
Yeah. So, which one do you mark first? Revan, Jolee, Grandmaster Yoda, or General Kenobi?
So personally, for me, I mark Jolee and I kill him, and I get rid of him first, and then he's revived by Revan. But then once that happens, then I actually switch my target, and you have to kill Jolee before anybody else. But you've got to trigger that revive with Revan. So I always kill Jolee first. I mark him, kill him, and then kill him again. There are some times when I'm battling, I find myself able to kill Revan real quick and then go back and kill Jolee before Jolee revives Revan. But you don't want to have a situation where you've got Jolee sitting on the board and then have to worry about the revives. So I just go after Jolee, and you have to kill Jolee twice, which sucks. But that just is what it is. And then as soon as he's dead, you're golden.
All right. Next question for Lydia Dasher from Xylo. Question, why not use a 36% crit damage triangle and high CC secondaries on Revan? Lady Adastra.
She is stunned by the question.
Did we lose Lady Adastra?
Says she's still in here. She's just muted.
She's muted.
Yeah, I forgot to take my mic off mute.
She was spewing all this anger at Xylo for that question, and it was on mute the entire time.
Yeah, I was making notes. So I didn't want to distract at all. But then when you asked me, I forgot to turn it back on. Whoops. Mm-hmm. Can you repeat the question?
No, I can't. You should pay attention. From Takedown Games, our boy Xylo question, why not use a 36% crit damage triangle and high CC secondaries on Revan?
Well, you could, if you still have some of that speed there. It's going to be relative to your shard, of course. If you're like one of the only Revan on your arena, you can have a lot of fun and experiment and just be really mean to your shard there. But again, he needs that speed, though. The most ideal is if you have a fast crit damage set with crit chance. That's what I want to do one of these times when I can 6E some really good crit damage stuff there. So yeah, you can load up on that as long as you have the speed still to support it. Unfortunately, he is pretty reliant on that speed because to get that first movement is huge. To mark someone right out is just a brutal move. And yeah, if you can have him hitting super hard too, I mean, that's his AoE, is really powerful. Like you can crit everyone with that, and you can potentially he's insane. So yeah, you can definitely go the full-on crit damage, crit chance set, because again, his lead will give you the crit chance boost, and then he also has his crit damage increase too. So you can get him hitting like a truck also. But he just isn't as necessary because you're going to have Grandmaster Yoda on that squad. He is your damage dealer. Revan is good support there. You know, you can whatever you have that's fast. You know, some people run a really fast offense set. Or you know, speed set is just the easiest to get super fast if you're competing with other fast Revan. So it's whatever you have that has speed on it.
All right. Next question for Mike from Danilo Papayas. Question: with 21 Gear 12 Revens in my top 50 and at least 4 Gear 11 and Gear 12 Revens between rank 150 and 200, not even aware of how many are between that, am I in an average, good, or bad arena shard? Mike?
Yeah, no. I'm here. I'm just. I would from my perspective, I would say average. It's. I mean, there are a lot of Revens around. A lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
More than I think any of us anticipated. This. You anticipated this many?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I was. Yeah. No, that was fair play. I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, I would say your average. They're there. They are.
Yeah, it's hard to gauge that.
Definitely arrived.
It's hard to gauge that. You know. I mean, like, I guess kind of ask around and see. I mean, we don't have any like specific data points on that, so. I can't tell you.
But when you're hearing of people with sub 2 million GP that have Revan,
right,
that gives you an indication of just how far reaching it was for people to go for Revan this time round. What age is his shard?
Well, it doesn't say, so we don't know.
Because I mean that would be the main decider. I mean, but. This is Danilo, isn't it?
So
correct.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So we were doing his roster review the other day, wasn't it? So he's on I think he's on a 2017 shard. So yeah, I would say that's quite.
All right, so
average.
We got about. Oh, got a lot of questions left, so let's try to get through these as fast as we can, guys. King Felix, question from JLY9. How does everyone mod Grandmaster Yoda? I've seen speed, offense, crit damage, and other sets. I'm currently running speed, but should I switch to offense or crit damage?
I don't run him with speed just because he gets so much turn meter from his own kit. I run him with an offense and health set. I don't know why I have health. Probably just good secondaries. Yeah. But I run it with a crit damage triangle. Usually try and stack as much crit chance in the secondary stats as I can, just to make sure he's critting when he can. But it's just a straight offense set for me. I do keep a speed arrow on him still, but that's just kind of because you don't want him to get too ridiculously slow, and I don't have any good offense arrows for that.
All right. Next question to Team Money. Actually, this is for you specifically, Team Money. This is from Zara Thrusta. Question for Team Money: how well does that new Sith ships do on defense?
I would say that the Sith ship probably. I mean, it'll do good on defense for the first little while because it's a little bit complicated, so people won't understand it. But I think that it's probably not great on defense. I don't think it would be great on defense. That's just my sense, but I don't know that for sure. Again, I don't know if I don't think that it's a good ship to, I don't think it's a good ship to whale out on. I'm not saying to buy this ship. at all. Like, but I'm it's part of my longer term plan is this little team, because I have Sith Assassin, I'm farming Sith Marauder right now. I do think there's a chance that it's going to be needed for some future KOTOR stuff, that those tunes will be. So it's part of my longer term plan. After the bounty hunter ships, getting them to 7 stars. But I will not be getting Cad Bane, for instance, to gear 12. That's not going to happen for me. Nah, no, thank you.
Top of the round, Warrior. This is from Zarathustra again. Question: is it time to prepare for the droid takeover?
I think that Separatists will probably come before droids. I think that the droids have almost naturally gotten a rework throughout the last, year and a half of all the additional droids being added. So, I think at some point the certain droids will be touched, and reworked. But I don't know. But I could be wrong. There are some really cool droid teams right now, actually, that you can run that do pretty well, actually. So it's all about modding at this point.
There you go. All right, next question, Lady of Dash from Fat Tony 99. Question for my Grandmaster Yoda. I'm using the offensive set and CC set. Should the arrow on him be offense, as speed isn't as important on him? Question mark.
Yeah, you can absolutely do an offense arrow. It's more important that he is hitting like crazy. He doesn't have to be fast. You can go either way. I've seen insanely fast Grandmaster Yodas with like hardly any offense support, but they can still hit for a lot, with all the boosts. So that's why I think it's more fun and it's awesome if you can load up the offense on him and he can just one-shot stuff, no problem. I'm hoping you have a crit damage triangle in there, too, to help with those powerful hits. So, as long as you have a little bit speed, though, I'm not talking like 0. You don't want 0 speed on him. But
yes, you do.
Like plus 100 speed. You don't have to have, because he generates so much TM. He's going to be called by his allies. He's going to get possibly counterattacks. He's incredible. So yeah.
All right.
Offense arrow. Have fun.
Why don't you and the Jedi get a room with Dasher? Jesus, oh, God. Actually, you already have a room. Y'all have been together for a while. What am I saying? Mike, question from /Van Rhodes. For Territory Wars, do you think Revan will be better on offense or defense there, Mikey?
Until we've got it locked down on how to beat him, defense.
There you go. I agree.
Yeah. I think he's just too much of a pain in the ass.
Prepare yourselves.
Yeah. That's we came a cropper against it.
Okay, next question. Let's see here. For King Felix Wargoal, 128 question for you, King. What do you think of a Mace rework where as long as he's alive, Jedi can't be annihilated?
I think he should get a even more souped up rework than that, because honestly, Nihilus isn't even the biggest problem for Jedi. It's other Jedi, actually. But I think Mace, if they actually do a real Mace Windu rework, then maybe you'll see some of these teams and these Revan teams not be able to be beaten, because Mace Windu should be just below or even on par with Grandmaster Yoda in usefulness in this game.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that you could argue, Tusken Shaman's got more usefulness than Mace Windu in this game is a travesty.
Yeah, I agree.
I think also that if they do a rework, he should be the first character that speaks, and that you can only have the sound on after 9 p.m.
And what would he say, Mike?
No.
Next question.
No.
Hang on, I've got a daughter that can tell you.
No, I'll mute you.
No.
Do not put
Next
Swery
question.
Daughter on. Do not put her on.
Yes, Mace rework, please.
No.
Yes.
Mace rework, fine. Swery Daughter or Dancing Daughter, no. Or your wife. Don't even try to be sneaky, Mike. We know your family well. For the potty language is strong with them.
It is.
It is very strong. All right, last question, regular question for Team Money Corey Dalmeyer. Question: how long will Revan be meta, and is there anything coming soon to dethrone him?
Forever.
Forever and ever. I would say, they like to give these things a life, and I think that I don't think that they're going to, kind of have everybody farm the KOTOR tunes for the next 6 months and then have Revan be completely unusable at that point. So I think, my guess is 8 months, and we'll have something that's, possibly as much of a leap forward from Traya to Revan as Revan to, X. What's next? Yes, possibly Darth Revan. It could be sooner than that. The timelines for everything have been crunched, right? They've been, taken and shortened and shortened and shortened again. So I could be wrong about that. It could be before the next Revan piece comes around. Not sure, but Revan's already being dethroned. He's being dethroned by the Sisters of the Night, and that will, learn to use your Night Sisters. You might have to put a Zeta on Barriss if you don't have it already, but that is a fantastic team that is being seen in all shards. The younger shards is all Revan, Traya, Talzin, Ventress, and I do think that Ventress is the, we've kind of said Ventress is going to be the final resting place for the sisters. It's not going to be Talzin long term because of Jolee, but he was dethroned right away by the sisters, who have almost dethroned every single meta that have come to us since they've been reworked.
All right, now we get to the fun questions. Kazakagi, too easy. Question for the panel: will Lobot and Jawas be great again? #twins. Never, in my opinion, will they be great again. I don't think they ever were great. Anybody else?
After they build the wall.
Teddy going to build the wall around the Jawas. Lobot. Next question, Ark. How many innings of the World Series did you stay up for? None for me. Anybody else? Yes? Anyone stay up for?
I fell asleep sometime around the 11th.
That's because you're old.
I know.
But you're not. You're younger than me, so you're just a butthole. Revenator question: why is the Jedi Academy symbol in the bottom left corner is not aligned in the template? What?
So there is a reason for the way that it's designed. So the Jedi Academy symbol takes over that entire corner, but in YouTube, when you highlight over the video, there's a little bar that comes in at the bottom. And so the Jedi Academy stuff is positioned so it's moved up a little bit so that it takes into account the bar that comes that allows you to like pause and play and mute and all of that stuff. So that's the reason why it's aligned that way.
All right. There you go, Revenator. Next question. Are you all getting dressed up for Halloween, and if so, what will your costume be? Mine will be Sadness at this version of Revan that's not really true to form. So, Sadness. Anybody else? Well, we know T-Money is. T-Money, what are you dressing up as?
Maple syrup.
I actually don't know. Maple syrup. Usually Canadians just pour maple syrup all over themselves and stick a bunch of leaves.
Hey, look at that maple syrup monster. That's a pretty good costume there, T-Money. You really outdid yourself this year. You got a little bit of those maple leaves on you and stuff. Stick to you.
Even if you go as, some sort of Star Wars theme, you need to have incorporate maple trees into
that's a part of it, eh?
Jedi Aunt Jemima.
Are you all impervious to wasp stings? I mean, the amount of maple syrup you have, you must walk around with clouds of bugs around you.
It's actually very warm right now, but maple syrup, this is the time of year where, where the maple, no, is that right? No, it's spring. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I don't know what I'm going to be for Halloween yet. I don't know. I have a lightsaber that I have not had for Halloween yet, so that might be coming into play. It's a fancy little lightsaber. or I'm not
You
sure.
could go
Usually,
as a Jedi.
I could go as a Jedi. Usually, what I do is I go as my own superhero, which means this is ridiculous. That I
Maple
wear
Girl.
some sort of leggings
Dun, dun, dun.
and then my underwear on the outside of my pants,
Oh
and
my
which I have a
God.
cape, and I will do this. And when I used to live on a very hippie island on the west coast of Canada,
Jesus.
I would just put this costume on and then just go out for coffee with my girlfriends, and no one would blink an eye. So
yeah, that's Canadian
yeah.
for you. Anybody else in the clean world doing something normal for Halloween?
No, I don't do Halloween. I'm a stick in the mud.
Yeah. I give lots of
I'm
candy
just
out to
gonna
the kids and wish them happy Halloween.
I'm gonna take my family around and get free candy, and I'll be drunk, and that's my Halloween.
Word?
I'm just going to open the door with my mole mask on.
Alas, reveal us. It's like, shut up. Anybody else, Warrior? Do anything for Halloween? Halloweeny?
Probably not. I don't care about Halloween, so.
Yeah. Me and Warrior are Christmas people. That's what we live for. Let's see. Finity, question for Team Money. Well, why don't you just read this yourself, Finity, you butthole?
Sure. I know. Okay. So, have you heard of the new product in the U.S. that's like going like crazy here? Mayo Chup. It's like a combination of mayonnaise and ketchup. And do you think it would go well with Canadian ketchup chips to make a new international craze?
Well, I'm gonna have to tell my son that because he's constantly combining mayo and ketchup and kind of affirming that he is, some sort of international chef to be. So that's.
Does he
what I'll
like
say
it with
about that.
ketchup chips?
He doesn't. He will have ketchup chips. We don't eat a lot of that kind of junk food in our house. So, he's probably had that a couple of times. But
okay.
All right,
yes, Mayo Chup is a real thing now.
Yeah. Thanks for bringing that up.
We don't tend to dip those kinds of chips though, unless they're rippled. Then we will dip them. But ketchup chips are typically the flat ones that don't hold the dip. It's a technical problem.
The Belgians have got it right.
Yeah,
Chips
right.
with mayo.
Just awful. All right, Hellnix, last thing, Team Money. Try saying this out loud 3 times really fast. 6 Sith ships.
Six Sith ships. 6 Sith ships. 6 Sith ships. Wasn't so bad.
And no tits.
Yeah, no titties on that one.
No tits on 6 Sith ships.
Mm-hmm.
Almost.
All right. So that is all the questions we have. So this is where we pimp our stuff. I usually go right to Warrior first because he's usually heading to work and selling mattresses. I did see something the other day where I know it's been a while. But is there any more specials you're offering on mattress furniture for anyone in the greater Colorado Springs area?
Sadly, my friends and family coupon expires on Sunday, so unless they get a hold of me today or tomorrow, they're not going to be able to benefit from it. But
your asses over there so Warrior can sell you a wonderful mattress.
Yeah, it's a friends and family thing. I only have a couple coupons, and so it's to get a hold of me, and then I can use it, and it's my discount, so it's pretty amazing. I don't make commission or anything, but yeah, it's pretty much a done deal. I did have a couple patrons get a hold of me and utilize a couple of coupons, which was really pretty cool. That I have patrons now that are getting Sleep Number beds. That's pretty dope. But Anyway, you can find me on Warrior Presents on YouTube, and I'm going to be just continuing to make the same kind of generalized content. I know the current unavailability of test accounts is there, but that doesn't, I don't think, affect my account really at all, because the only time I ever go into that is when I'm basically showcasing just a brand new like marquee character or something, and that's about it. So I shouldn't feel that at all. So no big deal. But yeah, you'll find me on Warrior, and then I also have my alternate channel, Warriors Roster Reviews. There's quite a few pretty good roster reviews there as well.
Nice. All right, Lady Adastra. Pimp your stuff.
Find me on YouTube as well, Jedi Master Adastra. It's as it sounds. It's mostly Jedi content. I do like just a lot of arena battles, testing various comps. So obviously I'm having a lot of fun with Revan and trying different combinations there. And then I also do a few raid vids. I did for the Sith raid, obviously, the most recent. I'm gonna have a few more incoming pretty soon. But yeah, it's mainly just having fun playing this game that we all love. And Jedi rule.
That's wrong. Mikey, you're part of the RSG crew, but you do have your own channel if you want to pimp anything.
Yeah, I'm. What am I doing? I'm running Jolie in Arena at the moment. I've just run Revan for the first time in Heroic Sith. I'm going to be uploading a load of awful ship videos featuring B-28 and Sith Assassin, and yeah, did a full refresh on those and couldn't get it to work and then binned it. Yay! Thanks for that, CG. But other than that, yeah, just messing about, revening. I'm gonna now start working on counters for Revan and seeing how well that goes. Yeah, pop on by, and I'm almost there at my million mark. I'm almost there.
All right, King Felix, thank you for being here. I know you don't have a channel or anything, but we appreciate you and appreciate your service, my homie.
Thank you. Just happy to be here.
Yeah, and then last but not least, the great Canadian maple syrup monster herself, T Money. Where can folks check you out, eh?
Yeah, you can check good Maurice and I out on Operation Metaverse. It's our channel, and we stream every Tuesday night at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Let's see. I think that's pretty much it. We have a Discord that's linked to in our channel, and yeah, that's about it. Got a great video on the Night Sister counter. That's doing really well right now. It's going on probably 12,000 views, something like that. So want to get that one up there.
Very nice. All right. And then, Finn, if you want to pimp our stuff, please do. My voice hurts.
Sure. So thank you all for watching. This is the Reality Skewed Gamers channel, and we're do this Jedi Academy with this great group on Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. We also do a bunch of other live streams. So during the week at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, we do our RSG lunch stream where we're just trying to entertain you during your lunch hours, which goes from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Fridays. And then Wednesday night, we have our longest running Star Wars Galaxy of Hero live stream, which is now approaching episode, I think, 124. The straight weeks that we've done this, and that's Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you guys aren't aware already, this past week on the Wednesday night stream, we announced our charity fundraiser for 2019. This past year in June, we did a fundraiser for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, and we raised over $10,000 with the help of all of you guys in the community. And this year, we have actually partnered up with the American Cancer Society, and we actually had someone from the American Cancer Society on the stream with us. And so we are aiming for a much bigger campaign for 2019 that includes the RSG crew running a half marathon at Disney on April 7th at good old 5:30 in the morning a.m. And if you thought Jedi Academy was early, running a half marathon at 5:30 is going to be even more fun. So, so we are setting up more with that campaign now. Again, we have the link in our RSG Discord. So if you head to the Discord, you'll be able to see that at the top in the 2019 RSG charity campaign link in the channel. So you guys can go there and support it. We are also working on setting up a Tiltify page. We were only informed on Tuesday this week that we are actually able to use Tiltify in order to raise money for the American Cancer Society. So we're setting up that where we're going to have a bunch more rewards and challenges and all kinds of fun things like we did in 2018 for the American Cancer Society. So please be on the lookout for that. And please support us. Again, it's for the American Cancer Society, and we're going to have a lot of things between now and April when we do the run. So please be on the lookout for that.
There you go. Make sure you guys give a thumbs up on the video. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. We do a lot of live streaming. We got all kinds of stuff we got going on. Tons of games that we're playing, streaming for you guys. The best way to know when we're streaming is to be a subscriber. Also, check out our Patreon if you haven't already. If you'd like to support the content that we're putting out and help us pay the bills, we have Patreon, and we have all kinds of cool stuff in our Patreon page as well. All that can be linked below. And make sure you guys check out these other channels. They take the time to be here to answer your questions and to help you out with your gaming experience. So please help support these other people and their endeavors. Subscribe to their channel, check out the videos, give them comments, give them the thumbs up on their videos, help support them as well. All right, so on behalf of myself and everybody here, thank you for joining us on our Jedi Academy. Enjoy the rest of your day. We have our D&D campaign continuing tomorrow at 5 p.m. We may do some stuff today. I don't know what we're doing, but on behalf of myself and everybody here, thank you. Be safe. Take care, and we will see you next time. Peace.